Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Donati again. And in today's lesson, we are going to look at marijuana. Marijuana is a very controversial issue because of some states allow it or it's legal and some states don't. So later in class today, we are going to have a group discussion about marijuana. Should it be legal in terms of recreational purposes? So when that comes, please make sure you choose a side and please make sure we're respectful when people are talking in class. So, as usual, the first thing we want to do is what is marijuana? Marijuana is dried leaves and flowers from the hemp plant called Cannabis sativa. There's another different version that we'll look at here in just a little bit. It is commonly called pot or weed. Marijuana is a drug that is usually smoked. Marijuana, the common name for the Indian hemp plant, cannabis, is a plant whose leaves, buds, and flowers are usually smoked for their intoxicating effects. It is one of the most widely used illegal drugs and is known as grass, weed, and pot. I feel probably in a short amount of time that this will become legal in our state. So obviously, that statement will change in the very near future. What are the effects of marijuana? The main active chemical in marijuana is THC. THC alters the way the brain processes sensory information. It reduces reaction time and coordination and impairs judgment. It also increases heart rate and appetite. High doses of marijuana can cause anxiety and panic attacks. Long term effects of marijuana use is serious. Since the drug contains many of the same chemicals found in tobacco smoke, users are at risk for the same lung disease that tobacco users confront, including cancer. There are over 400 chemicals in the marijuana plant. Remember that these chemicals are dangerous at a time. And the thing is that even if something does become legal, doesn't mean it's good for you to do. Okay, and my personal opinion is I don't want to introduce myself to something like marijuana because, again, of the side effects associated with it. Perhaps you've heard someone say marijuana, what's the big deal? It's not like you can get hooked on or something, but that's not true. Frequent use of marijuana can develop a tolerance to the drug. And again, tolerance is your body gets used to a chemical. Developing a tolerance often leads to physical dependence and addiction. Each year, more than 120,000 people seek treatment for addiction to marijuana. Types of marijuana plants. First of all, we have the indica plant. Basically, these are originated in the Middle East, areas such as Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Turkey, with names like Granddaddy Purple, Afghan Kush. Indica has higher levels of CBD and lower levels of THC. THC is again the addicting factor in the marijuana plant. Sativa plants come from warmer parts of the world and are near the equator, areas such as Central America, Southeast Asia, Africa, and more. Cannabis sativa is commonly referred to as marijuana and has been long used in folk medicine. Sativa has a higher level of THC and lower levels of CBD. And again, the pictures on the left are what each plant looks like. The sativa plant is basically can grow over 6 feet tall. Then we have hybrid strains, and basically the word hybrid basically means there's different types of the marijuana plant that is crossbred. And basically what happens is the different strands form different have different effects. As we get more and more into where marijuana becomes legal, I feel you're probably going to see more and more hybrid strands. The last one is ruderalis, and this is a subspecies found in Russia. Basically, it's much smaller, and the effects are less prominent with this kind of marijuana. Basically, how strong is the THC in marijuana? Another important fact is the strength of THC. Marijuana potency has increased in the past decades, up from about 4% in the 1980s to an average of 15% today. Marijuana extracts used in dabbing and edibles contain an average of 50% and are up to 90% THC. The main psychoactive or mood altering ingredient in marijuana is THC. The level of THC in marijuana varies and is determined basically on the different kind of effects on the body and the brain. The cannabis plant, which marijuana is part of, contains dozens of chemical compounds called cannabinoids. These naturally occurring components are responsible for producing many of the effects of cannabis use. One last thing is, and what I talked about at the start of the video, is we're going to have a group discussion about the legality of marijuana. Should marijuana be legal or be banned? In particular, should athletes not be allowed to use marijuana? Where do you stand? The picture or map to the left basically shows where marijuana currently is. Indiana is one of only 6 states right now that basically is outlawed marijuana in all components of it. The other states in the dark green are ones that have legalized recreational marijuana. The lighter green is more for medical purposes. So again, what I think is probably going to happen in the very near future is marijuana is going to become legal across all parts of our country. And then this is where you're going to have to make a stance, whether it's legal or not. Are you going to take something? My stance is that if unless I'm in severe pain, I will never ever use marijuana. With that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show.